नाज़रीन हिन वक्त असां मौजूद आहियूं कल्वर सिटी कैलिफोर्निया जो हिकिड़ो नंढिड़ो हिस्सो आहे कल्वर सिटी उते हिकिड़ी जर्मन पंहिंजो ओरिजिन जी अमेरिकन असां सां गॾु आहे संदसि नालो आहे बियाटे बेसिकली हिकिड़ी पंहिंजो बिज़नेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जी प्रोफेशनल आहे जंहिंमें हू ट्रेनिंग्स कराईंदी आहे जेका लीडरशिप सां बिज़नेस लीडरशिप जे बारे में उनखे माण्हुनि खे ॿुधाईंदी आहे पर हुनखे हिन सॼे इलाइक़े जी जेका डेवलपमेंट थिए थी पई उनजो तमामु घणो उनखे ॼाण आहे अॼु असां हिते जिते मौजूदु आहियूं बियाटे खां पुछंदासूं त हीउ जेको इलाइक़ो आहे हुनजी कहिड़ी अहमियत आहे अचो तव्हां सां गुफ़्तगू कयूं वेलकम बियाटे फॉर थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर गिविंग अस टाइम where we are here now.
Well, we are now in the center of Culver City, and what you see behind us is the beautiful historic Culver City Hotel, which is known actually for when they filmed The Wizard of Oz in Culver City in the Culver Studios, which are, you know, right over there. The Munchkins, the famous Munchkins that Dorothy met on her travels to The Wizard of Oz, stayed here at the hotel and made quite a bit of a ruckus. And this hotel is still working today, and it's really a part of our community. And it's been, you know, remodeled, and they have events, and you can sit outside in the summer, and inside they have live music every night. So it's a really nice little center part of Culver City.
So the movie was filmed here. So and you were talking about another movie too.
Yes, so right over there behind this construction site, what you're seeing is, and what we will be looking at in a moment, are the famous Culver Studios. So Culver Studios were one of the first functioning movie studios in Los Angeles. And so this whole neighborhood that you see has all these like tiny little homes, because these were the houses where the actors and the crew and the extras were actually staying. So all of this area that was sold off little by little has these tiny little lots and these tiny little houses, because it was the homes. And so as a working studio, they filmed here Gone with the Wind. So we will be seeing Tara in just a moment, you know, the famous Tara. And they filmed The Wizard of Oz here, and as well I Love Lucy, the television show that was running forever and ever and ever and ever. So Humphrey Bogart was here, Charlie Chaplin filmed here. So a lot of the greats of Hollywood, you know, were here in Culver City, probably walking on the same path we're walking right now.
Okay, that's great. You were also talking about the developments. You told us that there is a Sony headquarters. And from this, you were talking about TV channel by the Amazon, I think so.
Yes. Yeah, so what's happening in Culver City is that when we look, you know, all the way in the back, so this building that you see with the white and the black, that was the headquarters for Sony Studios, where they had their corporate offices. But now they've moved out their corporate offices, and they have converted it, and it's about to open very soon, I think within the next couple of months, a technology hub. So they're trying to attract, you know, people that are in technology, in motion picture, in in these related businesses. You know, that's what Culver City's been developing, to attract these technology companies and have them be in here. So that will be completed very, very soon. We also in Culver City, we've attracted Symantec. So that's a big, it's like the competitor to Norton Antivirus. So Symantec is an internet security firm that does software. We have the Google campus with the YouTube, which is in Playa Vista, which is now called Silicon Beach. So there's Silicon Valley, and now we have Silicon Beach right here in Culver City. And they keep developing and developing. And now over there, right here in this big construction zone, this is where they're building the hub, which is supposed to be a mixed-use space with restaurants, and then apparently there's also going to go some technology, building Amazon television in there. And then we will be going over to our train station. So yes, Los Angeles has public transportation. They've been actually building like crazy, and that's added more people coming through and more people coming to us to be entertained. And then from the train station, we will be looking at another development, a huge development that they're building right now.
This all development is done by the private companies or the state government or the local government or the federal government?
So most of these developments here are done by private companies, at least that's my understanding, because none of the land really is owned by the city or owned by the land. The Culver City City Hall and the representatives have been very clear about this development plan on that they wanted to make Culver City a place to be where the living quality is high. We have our own school system, so we are independent from Los Angeles Unified School District. We have the Culver City Unified School District, and the headquarters are 1 block from here, so that's where our school district is. And the intention really was to build sort of this city within the city, very much like Beverly Hills is or like Santa Monica has, and develop Culver City as a place to go. So on the bright side, as a homeowner, and my house is only 2 blocks from here, my house value has doubled in the last 10 years, which makes it now unaffordable for anybody to buy a house here because the rents are through the roof. And and there is nothing available to purchase because of all these technology companies and all these high-paid young millennials that are, having these interesting technology jobs with big salaries. They are buying whatever there is, and it just drives the prices up and up and up and up.
Yes, but when there is a Hollywood Boulevard where all the screening of the films, big theaters, they are. And there is a huge studio of Universal Studio. What is the role of this area which we are talking about where filming has been done?
So this was one of the original studios. So there was Hollywood, there was Burbank, and there was this. But back in the days when it was first built and the cars were going really slow, or they even had horses, it wasn't exactly like you were from here to there in an hour. I mean, that was like a day worth of travel. So this was one of the early functioning studios. And then Culver Studios was sold off to MGM. MGM was acquired by Sony. So the functioning movie studio is still over there. So the Sony lot is also in Culver City, which is right behind this building. And so that's where they do movies like television shows like The Blacklist. And quite a few television shows are actually filmed. Scandal is filmed here as well. So quite a few of these sets are here in Los Angeles, and a lot of it is locally in Culver City.
So Culver City still has the functional studios and TV shows, and some of the parts of the films have been.
Yes, exactly.
So let us move to the next destination where you are taking us.
Yes, of course, let's go.
Thank you very much. So you were telling us that now this city, as a local government system, it is a part of the LA city, but now it is trying to develop as an independent city.
I know. This is really an interesting part about, I think, the United States, or specific to Los Angeles, is that we have what's called incorporated independent cities that have their own mayor, they have their own city council, they have their own city hall, and they make their own decisions. And as I said, in our case, we even have our own school district. Santa Monica has their own school district, Beverly Hills has their own school district. And this was really done because people decided that they didn't want to get lost in the shovel in Los Angeles, but they felt that a smaller, controllable, incorporated city would do a better service to provide services for the people who are living here. And I lived in Culver City now for 15 years, and my daughter went to public school here, and she graduated from a public high school here, and I enjoy living here. I have everything. I have supermarkets, I have restaurants, I have bars, I can go dancing if I want to. I have a movie theater close by, I have cafes. There's really everything, and everything is in walking distance.
Now, but Santa Monica has the city hall and they have city council, their own. This Culver City does
as well. We do have our own city council and our own city hall and our own mayor.
Okay, Then what is the relationship between this mayor and the mayor of the Los Angeles? What functions you as a citizen of Culver City and also the citizen of the Los Angeles? For what functions you go to the mayor office or the city hall of Culver City, and for what functions you go to the Los Angeles?
So projects like the metro station are handled by the city of Los Angeles. And of course it has to be in cooperation and collaboration with some of the other cities that the train is going through, because they don't have really jurisdiction over making decisions here. So I'm not entirely clear what the, how the hierarchy goes in the decision making, but I vote for our Culver City mayor. I cannot vote for the city of Los Angeles mayor, but I do vote for the governor of California, because we're part of obviously of the state. But I can only vote locally in Culver City, not for anybody.
So you do not vote for the California mayor?
No.
So
the Los Angeles mayor, no.
You do not vote for the Los Angeles mayor?
No, I cannot. I can only vote for the Culver City mayor.
So then how it is the part of the Los Angeles? And whom a Los Angeles mayor represents? It means he is not representing you.
Well, when the mayor of Los Angeles goes out, he represents all of Los Angeles. But, and I believe that the mayors of the independent cities, collaborate and obviously have business with the mayor of Los Angeles that they have to be in collaboration with. But what that exactly entails, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that the decisions locally are made by the city. I believe that when it comes to things like water and electricity and utilities and things like that, they're obviously in transportation have to be over collaborative efforts between the two of them.
Okay, then where you are taking us for the next?
Now what we're going to do next is we're going to be going to a development that just finished about 2 years ago, and then I'm going to take you and show you our public transportation.
Let's go.
Yes. Considerations now are they overdeveloping Culver City? Can we even handle all of this? Do we want all these people to come in here night after night after night? Do we want all this traffic? And so now the residents that bought here, because it was so nice and peaceful and quiet, are saying, and people get really angry because there's always traffic now.
Really?
Yeah, as we just saw. So people are wondering, is this still a good place to live? Because it's becoming so incredibly crowded. So now what I would like to show you is like when you now look in the back, this big building, the white and the black.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a development that they just did about, they just finished this 2 years ago, the platform. There's another development that goes in there.
Really?
Yes. And we are only walking like 2 blocks now, and we've seen one after the other. So the developers are going crazy in Los Angeles because there's so much. Every building, this was an old car dealership that's now been torn down, and now they're building, and I don't even know exactly what's going in here, but you can see that the crane's already there. And they're starting to build.
What will be the impact of this whole construction and development on the common citizens? What do you feel as a common citizens?
I will tell you that there are real concerns from people who are living here now, because we feel that there is a real danger of overdevelopment, that there is so much traffic. They did a traffic study, and I live in a residential area literally 2 blocks from here, and it adds 10,000 cars a day.
10,000 cars one day?
10,000 cars in one day, just coming through my neighborhood. And it's just 2 blocks from here. So people come down the busy street, it gets completely clogged here in rush hour. So they're trying to cut through the traffic through my neighborhood. And my garage goes out. My garage goes out to one of the main streets, and they won't let me out of my garage. They're honking at me because I'm trying to get out of my garage because they're all so busy wanting to go home.
So this is what kind of thing that every citizen will have to face nowadays because of this development.
Exactly. I think that that's really a part that people can't entirely understand on what that means. So they say, well, your property values are going up. Yeah, my house value has doubled in 10 years, which is significant. But look at what is the downfall of it. Everywhere's construction. The traffic's crazy. Every 5 minutes there is a construction site and traffic rerouted.
Do you know one thing? Who is allowing this all construction? They have been allowed, they get permission from the Los Angeles government or the
City of Culver City.
Culver City.
All of this is developed in collaboration with the City of Culver City. So the way the law goes here is when you buy property, on whether that'll be commercial or a residential property, you have a right to develop. So that's a right of the citizens. So when you buy something, you have a right to do whatever you want. So the government...
But there are laws. You cannot
Yes.
develop a commercial activity in a residential area when you are in the residence. So
Well-
there should be laws.
Yes, well, there are laws, so that's called a zoning law. So if it's zoned for a particular code, then there is only residential allowed. If it's zoned for a particular, so this is a commercial area here. And sometimes things are now being zoned for a mixed use. That means there's commercial and residential at the same time. But this, you know, as you can see, this is clearly a residential area.
But along with this, all this development, your city government, city council and city mayor and the city government will be generating a lot of revenue.
They are generating a lot of revenue. Yes, which is why they are now making infrastructure improvements. So there is, you know, and you know how the cities here are very smart because they said, hey, if you're building this, you're also going to have to give us a new sidewalk. It's not your sidewalk as a developer. They're just making it your problem. It's just part of the permit.
Agreement.
That's how they do it. Or they say you have to, which happens a lot in the commercial areas, they say if you buy the building and you develop it, you also have to do the landscaping. And you say, but that's not my landscaping, but it's part of the contract, the development contract.
Well, Beate, you as a citizen of Culver City, are you satisfied with what is happening here with the attitude or with the policy of the Culver City government?
You know, I have to say, I kind of see both sides of the equation. So, on the one hand, I'm very happy that my property value has doubled. I appreciate that there's such a demand for my house. Would I put my house on the market today? It'll sell literally in 5 days. What I don't like is that the city is so eager to develop that they are, you know, just developing and developing and developing and developing, and they're not waiting for sort of the infrastructure to pick up for us. The traffic is unbearable, and it comes with aggression and anger, you know, and people are I mean, this is a residential neighborhood, and they're honking because so many of them are 10,000 cars a day are trying to cut through my neighborhood. So of course they're all upset. So it comes with the good and bad. In the bad, I love the metro, which you will be seeing in just a second. I love the metro. So I had a meeting in downtown Los Angeles yesterday. I have a choice in Los Angeles, the famous Los Angeles traffic. Usually that would be at least an hour to go to downtown, if not an hour and a half in traffic. I hop on the train, I'm there in 20 minutes.
So the money which they are earning, they are utilizing on the infrastructure. That's why they are also providing facilities to the citizens.
Yes, they are.
Don't you think that?
And you see how beautiful our buses are? They are brand new buses. So, you know, the city is not cheap. You know, they are taking care of making sure that whatever is being provided is high quality and is built up to standards. So I find that there is a lot of advantages, but you know, for example, they're developing the property next to my house. And the developers came over and they promised me all kinds of things, and yes, and we like to collaborate with the neighbors. And then they went and they misrepresented me to the city. And then when I went to the city meeting, they had represented me as being in favor of the project, whereas we had discussed that I would support the project if certain conditions would be met.
So, do Culver City have their own police sheriff, or they work under the Los Angeles police?
We have our own police, we have our own hospital, we have our own everything. We are completely independent from the city of Los Angeles.
So you have their own hospital?
Yes, we do. And our hospital is where we started, the Culver Hotel. It is, you looked at the Sony building, and it's literally 1 block away from there.
So you have one hospital?
One.
Owned by?
Only one.
Okay.
I think it's a privately owned hospital. It's called Broadman Hospital.
So that's a private hospital. But do the city government of Culver City, do they own the hospitals for the public?
No, I don't think so.
So
No.
they have a schools, public schools?
Public schools, yes.
Which work under the school board, and you have your own school district.
Yes.
And you have also your own transportation system that is not connected with the Los Angeles. This is built by the Culver City.
We have our own transportation system. So the green buses are Culver City buses, but they are also going to other areas. So there is definitely collaboration between what we offer, you know, here locally, because it would make no sense to have just a bus to go from one end to the Culver City to the other end of Culver City. So our bus goes from Culver City to downtown, and then from downtown to the beach to Santa Monica.
You were talking about metro,
Yes.
the train. That has been built by the city of
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yes.
So that is not the project of the Culver City.
No, but because the station is here in Culver City, of course there had to be some collaborative effort with the city of Culver City to make it go through here. But you know, as you can see, there's a beautiful train coming right there.
Looks like that.
Well, I do, because it's, you know, I'm from Europe.
Yeah.
So I like, you know, because it now starts to feel, when I first came to America.
So this development, as you were telling us, has completely detained you into a house. You cannot take your car out, but still you like it.
I still like it, yeah, because America, when I came here, especially Los Angeles, it was like this huge city that takes you literally, I think it's 3 hours to drive from one end to the other. That's one city, 3 hours. And then you either lived outside, and then you had to go to areas where they already had figured out the development.
Sorry to cut you, but this is a train.
Yes.
This is the
This is our metro. This is the Expo line going from Santa Monica all the way to downtown.
Wow. But you were telling that green buses belongs to the city of Culver City. And what about these orange buses?
The orange buses are the city of Los Angeles, and the blue buses are the city of Santa Monica.
So they all travel, overlap each other?
Yes, because...
Or there is distribution of routes?
Now, if I knew the formula for that, I probably knew which bus to take if I ever wanted to take one. We are going to be seeing here is, this is going to be now the hub. So this is what they're building now. So when they built the metro station, this was a parking structure. And they didn't know if public transportation would work on the west side. And the reason I say on the west side is because on the west side, that's where a lot of affluent people with a lot of money live. And so we love our cars. We're not really big fans of public transportation. But then they built this beautiful train. And suddenly we realized that from Santa Monica, you can go to a Lakers game at the Staples Center. You can go see a hockey game also at the Staples Center. You can go downtown to the Nokia Entertainment Center. So, and you're here in 20 minutes. And you're not in traffic, and you don't pay $30 for parking. So suddenly this became so popular that unless you were here at 6:30 in the morning, you couldn't even get a parking spot anymore to take the train. So they said, well, I guess we have to tear this down and build, a bigger parking structure. And this is what's called the hub, where this is going to be a state-of-the-art facility with, with places for bicycles, parking, mechanics, and all kinds of things. So this is a massive, massive project.
How much Culver City pays you to explain such beautiful things about
Absolutely nothing.
Really?
No, I just.
You are marketing them in such a beautiful way that I thought you are professionally hired by the city of Culver.
I might take your documentary and show it to the city and ask for money. Maybe I will be their honorary ambassador to Pakistan.
This is really interesting that as you
train to Santa Monica is now
even the
arriving.
rich people
Please step
now
back and allow
knew
customers to exit the train before boarding.
the metro system is better for them too.
Yeah, no, the metro is great. I mean, that really is, I think, part of what is going to connect a lot of the neighborhoods now along the metro line. So what you see is that literally along the metro, there's a huge development now, that everywhere the metro station is.
Someone was telling me that because of the automobile industry, that was the only hindrance building metro system here. Is it true?
It was true. There was the gas and oil lobby is strong in America, and there's a train, and as is the automobile industry. But we have 13 million people living in Los Angeles. And it's it's just increasing and increasing, so people have to move from somewhere to somewhere. So they had to come up with a project. And we cannot go underground because we have earthquakes. So we have to stay above ground. We cannot go under because it's just too dangerous. But this is phenomenal. I mean, how can you not love the metro? I feel like I'm in Europe.
Okay, great.